Today we're gonna talk about a story that occurred in the Rhodes family mansion. It was a cold and rainy night of October. All that could be heard in the family mansion was the sound of rain and crying, as Willow's grandfather had passed away.
Her grandfather's last words were, "I will always be here." He was buried and laid to rest in the same place of his death as he wished.
Years passed, and the sadness of mourning continued in the family home, so the place was no longer the same. The huge parties and celebrations were no longer held. It became a completely different place.
Every time Willow passed in those long corridors, the only thing she looked at were the huge portraits of her grandfather, besides his favorite Merlot bottles, which reminded her so much of him. It was as if he had a special connection with her.
One night, her parents went to a party far from the mansion, so she was left, alone, locked up in the big cold walls of her house.
At midnight, she got hungry, so she went downstairs to the kitchen. As she descended the stairs, she felt a penetrating look coming from the second floor, where no one was home.
Finally, she came into the kitchen. She opened the refrigerator and she listened to the sound made by the rotating base of the table as it spun.
She shouldn't have turned, but she did, and it was a moving at high speed. She ran as fast as she could to her room, and she locked the door. It might be my grandfather, she thought, because she could recognize very easily the sound of his walking stick.
She tried to sleep, but the idea of his grandfather being there was too scary, so she couldn't rest.